Monday. I am so excited. It's so late for me to be on here doing this, but I really felt just called to get on here and do this. So I want to talk about a few things about energy work. And if you know what energy work is and how to really turn the negatives in your life into positives. So first things first, though, I'm going to share. Hold on. Okay, so I am doing a research project, and the research project is called the New Earth Research Project, and it's basically for anyone that feels like they are a New Earth volunteer or a light worker, starseed, anyone who feels or resonates with that title, a shadow worker. Basically, sorry, let me pull up something really quickly. That's not it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is for anyone who is really struggling with lower energy vibration, meaning addictions, disease, stress, PTSD, insecurity, depression, overwhelm, anything like that. I really would love to hear your story. And I'm doing this New Earth research project. And your feedback would really help me to understand what is needed in our community as far as being able to help you overcome these negatives. So it's really going to help me to create something that's of value for everyone. And so I kind of need your feedback. So if you would like to help me with that, if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, you can click on the link that is showing right there on the live. And if you're on Instagram, you can go to my bio and click on the link called New Earth Research Project in the bio. And you can set up a time that works for you for the interview. And it would be greatly appreciated. And I can also answer any questions that you have about doing energy work. Okay. So this is exactly what I want to talk about today is how do you overcome disease? How do you overcome addictions with energy work? And I have done this the last 5 years. I have really overcome a lot of PTSD, depression, addictions. I'm doing really well with my food addiction, but that one I'm working on right now. Addiction to money. And if you have an addiction to money because you can't seem to hang on to your money. So that is kind of the first indicator that you have an addiction to money, or if you're in that poverty or scarcity mindset where you're really afraid to lose money, so you never take any risks. And if you don't take risks, how can you get the rewards, right? So I've dealt with all of these and overcome so much in the last 5 years doing strictly energy work. And what is energy work? Energy work is basically if you think of Reiki, but it's not really Reiki, it is tapping into the answers inside of yourself to overcome these challenges in life. Basically, it's going from an outer world perspective to an inner world perspective. And when you do that and you partner with spirit, that's the key. You have to partner with spirit or your higher self, your higher power, God, Jesus, whatever you want to call your higher self, totally fine. But you need to partner with that and let the divine heal you. But you have to get the answers that you need to be healed. Okay, so that's basically what energy work is. And I mean, I could go on and on. Like, I've overcome drug addiction, I've overcome food addiction, still working on the weight right now, but really the food addiction was. That was the issue, was that I couldn't lose weight. And I was like, I just wanted it so bad and so bad. And everything I had tried to do before was no longer working. And so I realized that I had a serious addiction to food. And how I knew I had an addiction was because I used it to soothe and comfort when I was feeling out of sorts, instead of using source energy or God to comfort, right? So that's really what it's all about. And it's turning all the negatives in your life into positives. So how you do that, it's very simple. And we can kind of do a little bit of it right now. But definitely, if you have any questions, if you're really struggling with, I struggled with PTSD. I didn't know that I had PTSD until it was like I was almost kind of out of it, which that's the scary thing about it. It's almost with everything, really. I didn't really realize I had these problems until I was pretty much coming out of it. So, there was a lot of depression in that. There was a lot of like back and forth energy of feeling stuck, feeling depressed, feeling super anxious, isolating myself, not wanting to. The word triggers comes to mind. With literally everything would trigger me. And then I was super codependent, and I had addictions with people and relationships. And that got so bad that if someone would do one wrong thing, I would just cut them out of my life, because I literally could not handle one more thing. And that's where the PTSD kept, coming into play. So basically, I want to help people with turning their negatives in their life into positives. And not just in a short-term thing like, oh, let's raise our vibration. That's all fine and dandy. You can do that, but then at the end of the day, it goes right back to where it was, right? To where you're back in that slump. And truly overcoming these things takes, the difference is the action behind it. So you can do all this meditation, you can do all of this law of attraction work, and you can get these maybe even answers to how you can overcome these things. But if you do not take the action steps in this physical realm, and you will not be able to overcome them. So that is the difference. And that's what really, I think, set me apart as being able to really overcome these things: codependency, PTSD, depression, religious conditioning, drug addiction, all of it. So, and I did it all through energy work. And, but like I said, it wasn't just all spiritual energy work. There was real world, reality-based actions that were involved, that had to be taken. And so I think a lot of people, maybe just are trying to do just the spiritual part. And then there's other people who are just in this full-on reality, but they don't know how to combine the two. And that's really where the results come, is from combining the two. So I want to just do a little bit of energy work with you guys, and whatever you feel like is ailing you, whatever you feel like is a negative in your life, it doesn't really matter. What I am going to show you is how you can tap into the answers that you need to overcome your specific issues. Okay. So, That's basically the difference, is everyone's situation is unique to them. And I think, so many of us get so down on ourselves because we're trying to be like the majority, like the crowd, right? And so we're not. We're unique individuals. Every single human being is unique, and your path is completely unique to you. No one else can take it. That means no one else can tell you how to do it. Nobody. That's the craziest thing. You have to find those unique answers within yourself. Okay. So I just want to tap in and let you know that this is energy work that is done not through meditation, but through asking yourself questions and waiting for the answer, asking yourself the right questions and tapping into those energy centers and really pulling out the truth and acknowledging to yourself what is really going on with you. And it's going to be totally different for every single person. But once you get those answers, then you can use that to really overcome these negative things in life. And basically, as soon as you get the answer, it like I said, when you partner with spirit and God, it's just like, as soon as you get the answer, you let the divine do the work at that point. So here's how I do it. Okay. So I just take my hands, and let's say I usually go through each energy center. Okay, so like for instance, let's start today on the crown. Okay, so you have a crown chakra, right? So I just put my hands above my head and I just feel into that energy center. And I say, I ask my crown chakra to reveal to me anything of lower vibration or negative energy that needs to be released at this time. And I will just simply wait for the answer. Okay, so let me tap in for just a second. Okay, so what I'm hearing for myself right now that I need to release right now is not trusting myself, second guessing myself. And I get a lot of spiritual downloads, but I will second guess them. And I will doubt those downloads as not being what the path I should take. That's what I'm hearing loud and clear for me. And so what I will say is I call forth all self-doubt and insecurity with my own spiritual gifts. And I release that to my higher self for transmutation into fifth dimensional energy. So that's basically how I do it. And I literally could feel an energetic shift. It's nuts. That is how you do energy work. And then I will go through every one of my chakras, every one of my energy centers. Sometimes I'll switch it up because I'll know what my issue is. Like I'll be like, I call forth all food addiction. I'll call forth all codependency in my energy body, in my aura, in the field around me, and I release it to my higher self for transmutation into fifth dimensional energy. So we're talking about disease and addiction, right? So you can basically, if you're in disease or addiction, right, You are energetically on that vibrational frequency. Okay, so for you to even, let's say, have um, how can I put it? I have to give you examples for myself. Okay, so let's say that I have PTSD, which I did. Okay, so for that to even be an issue with you, there has to be an energy within you that is vibrating on that same PTSD level. Okay, so how do you get over that? You have to release that energy. And that sometimes is doing a lot of inner work. Inner work, personal development. I cannot tell you how important that is to change your life. I know part of my journey has a lot to do with being super codependent on my mom. And my mom passed away 12 years ago now. And I was so angry at the world, at everybody. And I was so angry that she passed away. And so I suppressed that energy. And so that is the vibration that I was giving out. And so my life had to go down this downward spiral so that I could see where I was, what was ailing me, right? So I could really see what the problem was. And, now that I've come out of that, I see where I suppress things, why so many things happened in my life. And it was because I was holding on to grief. And it's pretty amazing that we truly are the creators of our own reality. And it's so true. And if you think that, why is this happening to me? If you're in victim mode, because I was in victim mode for a long time, that is a vibration. That is a frequency that you are on. And there's a reason, because you've suppressed something that you're holding on to that is in that vibrational mode. So to get out of that, you have to figure out what the root cause is of that victimhood. And you need to release it. You have to do this inner work. And really all it is just asking yourself those questions. What is going on with me internally that I keep having horrible toxic relationships in my life? Start at the beginning. Start at the top layer. Asking yourself those questions in doing energy work can release those things, and you can overcome anything in your life. You can turn anything around. I don't care what it is. It does not matter. God is more powerful than anything. So that's the craziest thing, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's my favorite. I love him so much. We literally, I resonate so much with what he does, and I just love it. But he broke his spine, right? He broke his back, he broke his spine. Dr. Joe Dispenza, they told him he would never walk again, that he would never be able to do anything again. He'd be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And he said, no, I'm not going to believe that. And energetically, on a spiritual level, he put his spine back together, and he walks and tells the story. And I have a little bit different story where I've come back from disease and addiction and codependency so intense that I shouldn't even be alive. There's no good reason why I should be alive today because of the intense addiction and to codependency, to my mother, insecurity, to everything, drug addiction. There's no good reason why I should even be sitting here. But energy work and really doing the inner work to release all that was suppressed, doing all the shadow work that it took to release all that was suppressed, to be on a neutral level. And then once you get to a neutral level where you're no longer creating situations in your reality that are based from your subconscious, you're creating from a conscious mind now, then the sky's the limit. It's really incredible. So I just want to encourage you today. I know it's late. I usually wouldn't get on, but I just want to encourage you that whatever you are going through can be overcome, no matter what. And don't get me wrong. I want to tell you, like, I went through therapy. I went through doctors. Like, this isn't without, I listened to what my body really told me to do. And therapy helped me so much. It's not even funny. But I was still doing all of my energy work coupled with that. So it's like the inspired action with the spiritual work. That to me is where the magic has come. So I just want to encourage you, whatever you're going through in your life, it can be overcome. I was in very toxic domestic violence relationships. I couldn't even keep a relationship with anyone because of the toxicity in me. And so a lot of times we think it's everyone else, but those domestic violence relationships, they came down to myself and that person vibrating on the exact same wavelength. Victimhood, victim mentality. Just because one was the aggressor and one was the, victim. But it still came down to the same energetic, the like attracts like. And whether we like to admit it or not, because we want to blame other people. Oh no, look at, they're horrible. It had nothing to do with me, but it did. And the only ways it stopped is that I finally healed what was toxic inside of me. And then it stopped magically. Out of nowhere, it just stopped. And completely stopped. Because once you're no longer vibrating on that same level, then it's like they just disappear out of your life. It's incredible. So, if you feel called to help me with my New Earth research project, I would greatly appreciate it. I love people that resonate with Dolores Cannon and her books, that feel that they are one of the 3 waves of volunteers. I would love to interview you if you think that you are one, but also just anyone who's going through this struggle with PTSD, addiction, disease, insecurity, codependency, anything like that. Your feedback will greatly help me to create something that is going to help other people, and including yourself. So, like I said, this is the link right here. If you're watching YouTube or Facebook, the Calendly link, you can just click it and set up a time that works for you. And if you're on Instagram, you can just click the link in my bio and set up a time that works. And I would greatly appreciate your time, and I can answer any questions that you have regarding your situation. So I hope you have a great evening, and hopefully I can inspire you to just know that there's hope. for whatever you're going through, that there is absolutely hope, and don't ever let go of that. So have a great Sunday. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.